Hey guys, Dylan here, and this is Club Spin. Today we've got a special guest on, and that is Sammy. Yes, classic Sonic fan fame.
Yes, hello everyone. This is Sammy Classic Sonic Fan or Sammy Zenith, whatever you want to call me. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you on. We're just gonna have a chill conversation. I know usual Sonic podcasts would have like a list of talking points that they would want to hit, but I don't really care about that stuff. We're just gonna have a chill conversation, and if we bring up questions, they'll be brought up organically. There's no
Nice.
little checklist I have where I mention things. So if I miss something, that's on me, or on Dumbsville, or on Danny.
Hey,
Okay, who's asking the most uncomfortable question first?
I think we should start chill. I think we should start chill. Like, there's been a lot of people that misinterpreted like what you were doing, Sammy. The internet now has some type of idea that you were a troll, and I don't think you were a troll.
No.
I'm gonna list off how I saw what you did, and you can tell me if I'm correct.
Actually, before you get into that, I want to actually bring up something. I saw a video of a kid in a classroom, and presenting in that classroom was you, Sammy. I don't know if you've seen that
Yes.
video or not.
That could have been saved for later, Dumbsville. That's way later down on the timeline.
Oh, you're right. I blew
Yeah,
the
we
load
can
too
talk
early.
about
We can
that.
save
in
that for
a
I
bit.
blew
later.
the load too early. I'll say
But-
that.
Just the context behind that.
What I was thinking is the origin of Sammy is that you saw people like Angry Video Game Nerd, Spax, and you wanted to do your own take on that. Like, the Sammy character is still your opinions at the time. It was just an over-exaggerated, cringy version of those opinions.
Yeah, I wasn't like that in real life, but I just liked those YouTubers. Even if if they were kind of just doing it for show, I kind of liked how like frank they were.
Yeah.
Just how straightforward they were.
Yeah, I just wanted to clear that from the beginning, because there's a lot of people out there who think you're a troll. Whenever I mention you, people comment, he was a troll. He trolled people. I'm like, no, he wasn't a troll.
No.
People just misinterpreted your interview with Sonic Show to think that you were trolling because you said that you
Oh.
played a character.
Yeah, I worded that incorrectly back then.
Yeah, you can
and
play
also
you
another-
can play a
I
character
mean-
and it be genuine.
I mean, on your behalf, Sammy, it was like your first interview. We don't expect you to be comfortable in your first interview.
Right, yeah, I was like 16 at the time. To be honest, I was kind of trying to do damage control back then. Now I'm just like, you know what, whatever. This is what actually happened.
See, I like that. I'm comfortable with
Mm.
that type of behavior. I like it when people are just chill, because I've done cringy shit too in the past. It's just better to own up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
hmm
I
So
don't know what I was gonna say.
I guess that was my first question. Danny, do you got a first question you want to ask?
I don't know. I don't want to sound like a typical questioner though. Like
A questioner.
Questioner. Look, I don't know. I'm
Questioner.
I am the questioner.
like one thing that always gets me curious is like because you're quite a known person across the internet, aren't you, Sammy? Like you're quite known across like the board, really. aren't you?
Definitely at this point.
Yeah, like definitely. People have definitely heard of you. So, like, have you ever come across a point where like there's maybe a channel you watch, like a big channel, and they acknowledge your existence? And does it like ever feel weird to you? I don't know, like
Yeah. I think an example of that would be Game Grumps. I'm a fan of theirs, and they mentioned me in one of the videos. 'Cause like they were talking about the word frickin' frick, and I that was just very, very surreal to me because that they're a channel of like millions of subscribers, and I just had no idea they were even aware it existed. That was pretty cool. I know they like to look at a lot of Sonic memes, but still, I
Oh,
had
yeah.
no idea.
They were my
Right.
exposure to Sonic's Ultimate Harem as well, so they've exposed people to a lot of cringy Sonic stuff. Okay, Dumbsville, what's
Yeah.
your first question? Let's just get the
Can I ask
questions out of the way.
Can I ask about the classroom now, or is that like still
You
for
can go
later?
for that. You can go for
Oh,
that now if you want to.
golly, Dylan, you're really giving me a lot of privileges here.
You are white after all.
So the classroom video that I was talking about earlier, where you're in the classroom, I kind of thought that like you screaming in your earlier videos, you said in the video you were looking at your own video, like just sort of like pointing at it and going like, I was very passionate back then. So I'm wondering, were all the screams in your videos, how much of that was like genuine, you were angry, and how much of that was, oh, this is just fake, I'm just doing this as a joke?
It's really hard to explain. Like I don't know. I'm hesitant to call it like entirely like an act or something. But I don't know. It was it's honestly hard to explain.
I think like there's like you know who Fred is, right? Fred Figglehorn from back in the internet days.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with that.
I remember watching
I was even compared to him, just like how he sounds.
I'm not surprised.
I think Fred sounds far worse. Just complimenting you on that regard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sammy has a much better voice than Fred, but
his voice
but
sounded genuine. Towards the end of it, Sammy's
Oh, that
voice...
was my actual voice.
Yeah, towards the end of it, you
yeah.
started going through puberty and your voice sounded weird when you tried to keep it high, but for the most part, your voice was fine.
Right.
Be proud of your voice,
Yeah.
Sammy. Be proud of who you are. Positivity. I remember like there was this like one video I watched from the creator of Fred. I think it was like through like the I Hate Everything review of the Fred movies. And the creator of Fred, Lucas, he said at some point, I don't remember what happened when I made Fred. I just kind of blacked out, and then they were just done. So
That's kind of how it was in the early internet days, though. People just had these crazy fucking characters they would snap into, and it was it was like semi-genuine characters, but it was also like pretend. It wasn't really acting, it was more like people playing pretend, and the early internet was weird.
Yeah, I was just trying to get people's attention, if anything. I wanted people to like hear what I was saying, I guess, because if I just talked in like a really professional manner or something, I don't think I honestly would have gotten.
Well, it
like,
definitely
that
worked.
many
It definitely
views.
worked. You gave Chris
Yeah.
Chan a run
Definitely
for
worked.
his money. For the
I think-
briefest of seconds, ED decided to not pay attention to Chris Chan, and that's a huge compliment because they were obsessed with him back in the day.
Maybe it was just because I was like a teenager. I was just like, and I sound a little kid, honestly. So maybe that's why people like found it so funny.
I think it's because you were something different. Like with lolcows, usually it's like grown men, pathetic, living in their mother's basement or something. But with you, you were like some crazy kid who was ranting about Nintendo games and fucking throwing your shit around. Like you had like a wooden sword and you'd go on adventures and shit. People liked that. That was genuine. With a lot of these other people, it's a lot of staged events. Like there's fake trolling arcs and shit.
Part of
Yeah,
me,
I
when
genuinely
watched...
had fun making videos. It was even if I just seemed like angry all the time, I really was having a lot of fun. Just it's a really cool hobby.
Part of me watching those like
I've been wanting to make YouTube videos since I was like, I would say third grade, maybe even, yeah, I would say third grade. And that finally materialized around the time I was in like 8th grade. So
Okay, what were you
Part
saying?
of me
Tom?
watching those videos of Sammy making like adventures in his backyard. Watching those at the time, I was kind of like, it's kind of weird to separate, the you frickin' fricks ruined everything from the adventures, but watching those like little adventure videos, that was like, it reminded me of like when I would like pretend to make YouTube videos, like my old like VCR camcorder.
Same. I had a little cell
yeah.
phone that I would do that shit with.
I think like one part that kind of like makes Sammy, the old Sammy Classic Sonic Fan channel, the old videos, your videos, Sammy, a bit more popular, and this isn't the whole reason, but I think part of the reason. I think part of it just sort of just like also taps into ourselves. It sounds weird, but it taps into like a part of like people like me that that kind of go, wow, you know what? This guy wasn't too different from me though when I was younger. It's just so like surreal, but it just kind of like it's eerie. Just how
agree.
like
yeah, I would have to say the adventure videos were by far my favorite ones to make.
I got a question to follow up with that. Do you still have the stuff from those videos? Like, do you still have the Sonic backpack, like the Supersonic one?
I don't, unfortunately.
That's a
Most of
question
those
I know
things
people
were-
would be begging to hear, because like one of the things people ask JonTron all the time is, "Do you got the hat?" So I feel like I'd be missing an opportunity if I didn't ask if you had the backpacks.
Yeah, I sold most of those things in a garage sale. I honestly regret it now because they were sort of like, relics. I should have at least like kept
they belong in a
at least
museum.
half of those things in like a box or something,
I'm kind of glad you sold it though, because you wouldn't want to end up like Nostalgia Critic. Have you seen his hat? It's starting to fall apart. I feel like the hat became symbolic of his falling internet presence, and the more the hat decays, the more his channel does, and it's pretty depressing. I'm kind of glad that you were able to
Yeah,
move
his
on from
content's
Sammy.
definitely changed.
Oh yeah. Do you got another
Say the
question,
least.
Danny? Because I've got another question.
I mean, my main one was the one I just asked.
Oh,
So
okay.
I
So
don't
I,
think
Yeah, but
not at the moment. I've been trying to think like while you guys were talking, like any good questions, and it's like,
Okay.
no.
one of the people that have gotten a lot of attention from you and have built their audience because of you is Chad Tronic. Have you seen Chad's videos?
Yes, I have seen some of them.
He gets really into it. Like he
he's
even
really-
made like a cover of your intro where it was him running around doing crazy stuff.
I saw that actually. He's funny though. And he's just doing it out of jest. He's not like he's not doing it to like, attack me as a person or anything.
I
That's
think a
not
lot
it
of
at
your
all.
genuine haters are gone. I don't think anyone genuinely hates you anymore.
Yeah, I would honestly be interested in like collaborating with Chatronic sometime. I used to like actually talk to him a bit like on Twitter and stuff, but I know I'd have to see if there's a way to like get in touch with him because
I'm
I
sure
would
if
like
you
to do that.
commented on his video, he'd pay attention to it. If you can comment on his videos, thank you, YouTube. I don't know if you can anymore.
I think they got
Right.
turned off. I think I checked. I think he turned them off.
Yeah, it's
not
not
sure.
him. It's YouTube. He
Oh,
made
no,
a whole
like,
video
I mean,
complaining
yeah.
about it.
He got
Wait,
He got
YouTube can
Coke.
just turn off
If you're
people's comments,
child-friendly.
like, on their own.
If they see you as
it's because
child-friendly.
of COPPA. It's because of COPPA now. That's the issue. It's COPPA.
Yeah, there were predators in child-friendly
so
comment
weird.
sections, and they're like, well, we're going to eliminate that. Get rid of comment sections.
Actually, it goes deeper than that. What was happening was YouTube was targeting ads towards children.
Well, that too.
That was
Yeah, it's
the
such
no.
a
That was
weird
the
time we
main.
live in.
Oh yeah, it's a weird time. We live in a weird time.
Like,
This is-
yeah, I haven't made videos in like years, but when I came out with the like Sonic movie review recently, I had no idea what to do when it said like, "Is your video made for kids?" I was like, "What?
Oh,
even mean?
if you just set your channel to not for kids, you'll be fine. I'm pretty sure you
Yeah,
don't
I did
count.
say not for kids, just because I
right.
didn't know what would happen if I did say that.
If you say for kids, you're gonna get crippled. The only time you have to say for kids is like when you're like, "Hello there, little boy. Let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog."
Right.
That's when you have to do it, because they're gonna catch you. Like, but if you're just a normal person talking normally, you're fine.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah,
Sam will have to do that one day. Sam teeters the line. Sam Procrastination Station. He teeters that line.
Oh, I follow his channel. I love his videos.
He doesn't love me.
Oh, what happened?
I think I've talked to
A
him
lot of
once.
people don't like me because I have edgy jokes and cover things with a bit of sarcasm, so people don't like me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of people who, that's like their style of contents, like, tend to be a bit more controversial. But
Yeah, I
you
just
seem
deal
like
with
a cool
it.
person to me. So
Thank you. A lot of people don't bother trying to talk to me. They just see something I've said in jest and go, "Well, he's terrible. Fuck him," and then block me. And I'm fine with that.
I think the issue is, and I've also dealt with this before. A lot of people will, like, no matter how long ago it's been, and I think Sammy can also relate to this. No matter how long ago it's been, if you do like one thing, and doesn't matter how in context, out of context, doesn't matter how like small or big it was, doesn't matter whether you change from it or not. If you've done like one thing that somebody doesn't like, they're gonna try and ruin your life, and that's fucking terrible.
It is.
That's my-
yeah, like a few years ago, I've since like went back on this, but I said I was like a Trump supporter, and people still try to use that against me. It's like
I don't know why it would matter.
Like I honestly knew nothing about politics at the time. I still don't even really know that
A
much.
lot of
Like,
people in 2016 became Trump supporters, ironically, and no one judges you, Sammy. Well, none of us will judge you for it. I think I ironically supported Trump a couple times. I don't think it matters.
None of us care.
yeah, like
We're all like,
It was Hillary
Fuck
versus
people.
Trump. Really? What are you gonna say?
Right.
What can you
Right.
say?
yeah, like honestly, I still think Hillary's worse. But
Oh,
we
Hillary is
Right.
Hillary is undebatably worse. No one fucking wants her.
yeah.
The only reason why the Democrats might win this time is because Hillary stayed the fuck out.
wow, this is getting really political.
Okay, let's change it. Sorry.
Yeah, I
don't
shouldn't
make-
have brought that up. I'm
It-
sorry.
it's fine.
Don't make me play Metal Gear Solid 2, the entirety of it for
No!
you guys, okay?
But let's continue talking about Sonic stuff. So after you decided
Sure.
to leave the internet for a bit, what made you want to come back? Did you feel like it had died down enough to where you could, or did you feel like as an adult you were mature enough to handle it?
Yeah, I would say like the first major instance of me coming back was like when I made the Sammy Zenith channel. And by then, like, as you said, it died down pretty significantly. So, and plus, like, since YouTube isn't really my job or anything, I could just pretty much do like whatever I wanted, or just whatever kind of content I had fun making. And I think just knowing that I have like an audience, it gives me some motivation to like come back at least occasionally and do something.
Yeah, people were really interested to hear your opinions on the Sonic movie. I know I had been talking to Sonic people, and they were like, "I can't wait for Sammy
I
to make
felt like I
his
had to
opinion."
talk about that. And I haven't even talked about Sonic Mania or Sonic Forces that much. So I plan on making videos.
This is something I've
about
heard
it.
from a couple reviews of the Sonic movie. People really wanted you to have a cameo in it. Would you want to do a cameo
Yes,
in a Sonic movie?
That would be the greatest thing that could ever happen to me, honestly.
Maybe they'll get you
Um,
for the
petition to
second
get you
one.
in the next
Sonic
movie.
got in the first one. Why can't you get in the second one?
Let's start a petition.
I'd be totally
Yeah.
fine with Sammy getting in. Just don't allow Chris Chan in.
Yeah, dude, if like Sega hired me to be, to have like sort of a similar position to like Aaron Weber or something. That would be just amazing.
Someone
I
said
feel like
they want you to be like the Stan Lee of Sonic stuff. You just appear. You don't say anything. You just show up and look, and then you leave.
I feel like I mean, to bounce back off of the Chris Chan thing, I feel like Sammy is someone who is like way more wholesome when it comes to his internet infancy, you know? When it
Chris
comes to
Chan's done some pretty demented things. I
pretty
know about all
demented.
that.
Pretty demented.
Well, I think the difference between Sammy and Chris is Sammy always had self-awareness to it. Like, Sammy would do cringy things, but he knew they were cringy. He just did them for attention. That's always how I saw it.
Christian just has no restraints.
Christian doesn't know what he's doing. He just
I don't know how much
doing
Sammy
shit.
knows about Chris, but
I'm assuming he knows something about Chris. They seem to be aware of each other.
Yeah, like you know, at first, like with the SammyClassicSonicFan stuff, when that got really popular, a lot of like my views were coming from 4chan, I think, and they immediately I was getting comparisons to Chris Chan, so I had to know what that was.
I know ED really liked you and compared you to Chris, and I know Kiwi Farms really likes you still. And that's hard. That's a hard
I didn't
fucking
even know
feat. The Kiwi Farms still talk about you, because I did a video on you a couple months ago, and I looked and they were still talking about you, and they like you. Some people even said you were handsome. They are very nice to you. The Kiwi Farms don't like me. So it is very weird to see how much they like you.
I had no clue about that. I for whatever reason like looked at the Encyclopedia Dramatica page like I'd say a few months ago.
ED is shit.
I think it's pretty much they pretty much kept it the same, but I think it's just because like, you know, I haven't really given them much to work with, like, because
no one updates ED anymore. Like, the only people that write ED articles are losers who write their own articles, and we don't know anyone like that. So,
I wonder who that could be.
Other than that, I don't think anyone genuinely uses ED anymore. They're trying to bring it back up, but no one writes new articles. They just want the old articles archived.
Right. Yeah.
ED is like a historical site. No one really wants to touch it. They just want it to be there.
It's an entertaining website, but not exactly the
Imagine
best.
someone writing shit like they did 2009 ED, where they're like, man, this guy could be funny if he wasn't a feminist. Like, come on. We've moved past that type of humor. We've moved past the ED humor. I don't think anyone writes like that anymore. I think it moved
pretty much to know your meme, except, you know, that's a lot more like I mean
I don't know who writes on Know Your Meme. I've never met a Know Your Memer.
That has like less shit posting, so
yeah, I don't even know who operates Know Your Meme. I just know it exists.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Dumbsville? You got any other questions you want to ask?
What are your thoughts on Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, Sammy?
Oh, that's a good one.
I want to hear the thoughts from the man himself.
I honestly, this is kind of a controversial opinion, but I think Sonic Mania is like officially my favorite Sonic game now. Like even more so than Sonic 3 Knuckles. Yeah,
That's not a controversial opinion, that's just facts.
A lot of people eliminate Sonic Mania from their favorite rankings because they're like, it's a bunch of different games. Of course it'd be your favorite. And I kind of feel that, but if I didn't have such a love for Sonic 1, Sonic Mania would be my favorite too.
I just think it's, you know, the culmination of like everything that made like all the things that made like Sonic 2 great, Sonic 3 great,
Sonic 1, great. That's why there's only one level from it.
Right, yeah. But, you know, and it just sort of brings all that together. And, like, yeah, half of its zones aren't original zones, but I mean, it does, like, interesting twists on even the, you know,
right, exactly.
like the revisited zones.
What did you think of actually, answer the Sonic Forces one, and then I'll ask my question. Sorry, I didn't realize.
Oh,
that.
Yes. Well, as for Sonic Forces, I I pretty much had the opposite opinion. That might be one of my least favorite Sonic games. I like it better than Sonic 06.
When you that's all you need to say. When you have to say it's better than 06.
I don't even know if I like it as much as Sonic Unleashed. Because I honestly, in retrospect, Sonic Unleashed wasn't like a terrible game, anyways.
Sonic Unleashed.
I think that Unleashed is both an overhated and an overrated game at the exact same time.
Yeah.
I'm not qualified to talk about that game. My only gripe with it is they made homing attack be a separate button than jump. I don't think I'm qualified to hate on the game.
I just didn't like the werehog stages.
Oh, same, but I could have dealt with them.
It just didn't feel like.
I could have been fine with that, but I can't revisit the game because homing attack is a different button than jump. That shit is too far for me. I'm like, I won't play this.
I never finished it. I played it for 10 minutes and then gave up.
That's why
Unleashed
you mod
is like
your
really
Xbox.
Hard, actually.
Yeah, it was my PlayStation 2. It wasn't my Xbox.
Well, you can't mod a PlayStation 2. Well, you can,
but...
I think
it's the worst version.
the Wii version is the worst.
Oh.
Yeah, but eventually I got it for Xbox. That version is much better. So.
Yeah,
I own the PS3 version and it chugs like a motherfucker.
The 360 one chugs too. I've played it.
But the PS3 version is like even worse.
The best version you can play right now is get Sonic Generations on PC and mod it to be Unleashed.
And mod it. Yeah, my friend got that mod. They did a really good job with it.
Unleashed Project is perfect. It's got all the best levels, and you get to play with Generations physics. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I guess my question is, what did you think of the original Sonic movie design, and do you think redesigning it changed anything?
Yeah, I'm honestly glad I wasn't around for the original movie design, because I would have had a lot of not good things to say about it, just because
no one did.
Only
weird furry people.
Because a lot of people were reacting to that negatively, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't helping to see so many people just talking negatively about Sonic. Here we go again.
I'm just glad they listened.
Talk about the Sonic cycle again and stuff like that. But,
I fucking hate the Sonic cycle. That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard from the Sonic fandom. Because the same YouTubers who talk about the Sonic cycle participate in it. They fucking hype up the games by talking about every single little leak or information. They fucking talk about every trailer as they come out, every fucking preview, and I'm like, you're hyping it up. All these people who talk about, we have to stop the Sonic cycle. You guys hyped up forces.
You're perpetuating it, yeah.
They hyped up forces to no extent, and then they fucking say, we need to stop the Sonic cycle. What the fuck? You are the Sonic cycle.
Right. And then when I heard they were redesigning it, I was actually really impressed by that. I didn't have any idea how they were going to do it until they said we're delaying this, because that made a lot of sense. But that really surprised me, because I had never heard of a company actually listening to feedback before a movie came out and actually applying changes to give people what they want. I don't. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think any movie company has done that before with a movie.
I think the closest thing we've gotten is Terminator Salvation, where the leaked plot where the plot got leaked and people didn't like that John Connor was a Terminator the whole time, but then
I see.
But then they changed it. But then that was more of a negative change though, because once they changed that. The film then became a generic action movie with no twist or anything. But with a Sonic movie, it's one of the few times where they changed something and it worked really well.
Well, all they did was change the design here. I don't think they changed the plot. After watching it, I don't think any of the plot changed.
I disagree because there are like some lines that are in the trailer that
There's
are
a
out of the
few
movie. Like,
gags, but the trailers are always different.
They
than
kept the
finished
meow
products.
joke.
the meow line is actually differently recorded though too. Like it's a different like in the original
Well, they
trailer,
had
he goes,
he
meow.
would have to redo all the lines so then they could fit it for the new like motion rig because they rigged the mouth to match the actor. They probably couldn't reuse the original shit, so they had to get him back in there and re-record everything.
Huh.
Right, that makes sense.
Because
I
have
think
you
the
seen
only
the
thing that
motion
changed about
rigging?
the plot would probably be Gangsta's Paradise.
How they rigged it?
Gangsta's Paradise.
How they rigged it is they put like a weird little thing on your face, like weird little dots, and then it maps it to the character as you talk. So as you're speaking the lines, the character's mouth is animating.
That's what they did for like the Hobbit as well with
with Smaug. Yeah.
It saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of time, and you don't get like Sonic Forces where they just flap their mouth over and over again until they're done talking.
Right.
Now the Hobbit's a film that I wish I listened to the fans for, but that's
I'm
not
glad
really
he
Sonic,
got
so.
to re-record his lines though, because Sonic sounds more genuine in the second take of it. In the second take of the Sonic movie, I like how Sonic sounds.
Especially with the meow line where
He sounded
goes,
squeakier.
Yeah, he was much more like scared, and that was like a good take. You know?
Yeah, the first line sounded like Roger Craig wannabe.
Oh,
meow. Oh, I guess. Have you seen Sonic Rebound?
Sonic Rebound is that a fan game?
It's a fan animation of the IDW comics.
Okay.
Oh boy, you're gonna bring him into that one, Dylan.
Oh no.
I actually haven't seen that.
Oh, sad times. I would have loved your
he's
opinion
too-
on it.
He's too innocent for it. He's too innocent to know about that.
Well,
What is it?
it's someone's attempt to animate the IDW comics, and they've done two.
It's
of
our
them
old.
so
It's
far.
an old enemy we have.
Ex
Still blocked
enemy.
on Twitter, waiting for my unblock.
Don't look it up, Sammy.
But
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued now.
Well, you know what? It's not the worst thing you could look up in the Sonic fan base. Like, I really don't like. I don't want Sammy to look up the Pact 2. I know what that is, and nobody else knows unless you like see the cover art. Then you realize, oh, I know what this is.
since we talked about this recently, I guess I'll bring you into the conversation. What direction would you want Sega and everyone to take Sonic going forward? Because we did that like 2 videos ago. I'm really interested to hear what direction do you think Sonic should go in?
Yeah, I would have to say my opinions are like way different than they were like many years ago. Not just because, with the Sonic movie restoring like all the interest and popularity for the Sonic series, but also I just think over time I've come to like not be such like a classic Sonic fanboy. I honestly do think that they should do some sort of a remake of Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2.
I don't think
kind
that's
of
a bad
like
idea.
what Takashi Iizuka was saying. Remake those games, work out some of the, some of the
kinks,
obvious
the
flaws.
kinks.
You could do
And-
like Crash and Spyro did, remake those 2
Yeah,
games
it
and
worked. It
Heroes.
worked with those. It's working with SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Oh yeah.
I don't see why it
Teenage
wouldn't
Mutant
work
Ninja
for Sonic. So, and there's a lot of there's a lot of nostalgia for Sonic Adventure, and I get what they're saying about wanting to move the series forward, but I mean they can still do that while also bringing back the Sonic Adventure gameplay formula.
Oh yeah, I've
Because
never
it could lay the foundation for future games, or it doesn't even have to be a remake. You can a new game. Don't rush it or anything, but it can still be a new game. I do think Sonic Adventure was a good like gameplay formula for 3D Sonic. It's honestly, like I used to say like, oh, they should make a 3D environment classic Sonic game, but
I don't even know what that would be like. That is
yeah,
so
that would be like
unfathomable.
Sonic 3D Blast. So
It
I
sounds
don't.
like Sonic Adventure to me.
It sounds like Sonic Robo Blast
Yeah,
to me.
pretty much. Because I mean, Sonic Adventure has the spin dash. Really, the only difference is the homing attack, but that makes it easier for Sonic to like hit enemies in 3D anyway. So
The homing
I think
attack and the movable camera is what separates that game from 3D Blast.
Because I remember, like,
Well,
there'll be times
the
when I'm
camera
like,
still is bad. in
Yeah,
Sonic
but it's better
Adventure.
than
They would-
3D
They would need
Blast.
to. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh, I like 3D Blast.
Oh, well, good for you. It's not even 3D Blast for you. It's just Blast.
No, it's Flicky's Island.
Oh yeah,
That's what
Flicky's Island. I forgot. You guys
I
gave
think
it
it's
a
so
weird
bad
name.
it's good.
Oh, I love it.
I think
I
it's a
will
good
play it
game.
occasionally.
I think it's a good game. I just don't think it's anywhere near the other Sonic games.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's
Sam-
a nice one to play when you're bored.
I've played like so bad it's good games before, like not even Sonic games, just games that are like so bad they're enjoyable. Like there's a game called Rogue Warrior. It's like an FPS game. It's really fucking bad, but it's so bad it's good because of the dialogue. I played games that are so bad it's good before, and I can't say that like the only game I can think of that would be close to like Rogue Warriors, maybe like Sonic 06 in terms of like so bad it's good. But like
Yeah, well, I had the honor of playing Superman 64 with my
Oh my
friend.
god.
Oh god.
I'm so sorry.
I played worse.
You can play Superman 64 in Sonic 06.
I played
I like 06.
I played Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. I've played Duke Nukem Forever, Duck Dynasty the video game.
Oh god.
Hunt Down the Freeman, Ride to Hell Retribution, Super 3D Noah's Ark. I have a bad game collection on Steam, dude. I play bad games for fun.
So, Sammy, what other Sonic people do you watch? Like, what other Sonic YouTubers do you watch? Because I know you stumbled upon my channel somehow. Is there any other Sonic people you watch?
Yeah. Well, I actually found out about your channel because of a friend of mine. He actually suggested some of the videos you made about me. He suggested those videos to me just to watch, and that's when I got the idea, like, hey, maybe I should try and actually like reach out to him, because you seem like you interact with your like commenters or fans.
Oh, I'm always willing to have anyone on.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought that was some I could do, and that definitely worked out. So that's cool. But yeah, I also watch like Sam's Procrastination Station, Tails channel.
How do you feel about the new Tails channel before you continue with that? Like, the new leadership, it switched from Matt to other people.
Yeah, I honestly haven't really watched it since Matt left.
Yeah, same. I unsubbed. I just didn't
I
care for the
also
new guy.
used to watch Koban Armani, but he also left too.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
He does stuff. He just doesn't do Sonic stuff anymore.
He does?
Yeah,
Did he stop his other channel? I thought he was doing like shoe reviews or something.
No, he stopped. It's been like
Oh,
dead for a
okay.
year.
Last
Okay.
time I heard, like, he was like doing stuff with Etika before Etika passed
The
away.
last thing I heard from him is he was reviewing a Nike shoe, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then I stopped watching him.
yeah.
I mean, the
But there's
shoe-
also
the
another
shoe-
YouTuber I watch, like Night of the Winds. That's what it's
He's
called.
gone. He started making a fan game and then fucked off. He's
Oh,
gone
okay.
too.
Oh, I thought he was still around.
He's still around, but he doesn't do shit anymore. I talked to
Oh.
that guy. He's just kind of out of it. He just doesn't want to do YouTube anymore.
I see. Yeah, well, I can relate with that honestly, but
It's a
mean,
mental health
I
thing. I think it's like
just
very taxing.
yeah, I was at for a period of time, like I would say when I was like uh a junior in high school or something. I was like going through a period of depression, but I don't have that anymore. It's just like with YouTube, it's kind of hard to find a routine, and
Oh
there's just
yeah.
making videos is time consuming. I what I've been doing lately with my videos, I'm just not like putting in all those effects and stuff.
I can't blame you.
Transitions, background music.
It would be weird to see you like run around and shit again.
Yeah. Yeah, I just you know, try to use like simple video editing techniques because I don't
Yeah.
want to spend
No
a long
2-minute
amount of-
long intros.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, are there any other questions you guys
I've run
I
out of
have
mine.
one. I have one actually.
Yeah, okay.
So on your Instagram, on your amazing Instagram, I noticed you posted a bunch of pictures of you in front of a mirror at like a shopping mall, I think, or something. And in
Yes.
the
Yes.
descriptions, they were like weird gibberish. It's like I heard in the comments it was referencing Martin Castabello. Are you okay?
Yeah, Martin Cabello. Honestly, that was just sort of me, playing
Alright,
around.
Just shit
Like-
posting, basically.
Yeah. Martin Cabello's like another like autistic person, so I just kind of find him like entertaining.
Yeah, the cocaina guy.
Yeah, yes.
Cocaina, no flower. So some people were asking why I hate the military.
I actually do have another question now since I've been thinking about it. There's one video out of all your other videos. I was like, I get this. I get all these other videos. But there's one video where I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? And that's the video where you lay in your bed listing off different colors of poop. What was your mindset for that one?
Okay, are we thinking of the video I titled weirdest YouTube video ever? Is that
Yeah,
is that
and then
what
you
we're
just
thinking
go
of?
green poop, red poop, and I'm like, what made you do this one?
I think it was just because like it kind of brought me back to the days when I would like ride on the school bus with my friend, and we would just make like weird noises like that on the bus just to get on people's nerves. And
Oh.
I know, I've always been kind of a clown like that. I just really wanted to make a video like that where I just
Okay, because
I
that was
just
the weird
completely
video. to
go
me.
off the rails. Just
Every
So
other
it's-
video of yours I understood, but with that one I'm like, okay, that happened. I experienced that.
yeah, I just think it was at that point I was just like, you know what, I'm not even gonna take myself seriously anymore.
That was towards the end of it. That was towards the end of the first Sammy Classic Sonic fan run. That was right before
Right,
the
exactly.
first time you left.
I do remember the watching your weird party video. The what was it? Sammy's in this party video.
Yes,
Um,
yeah, I was basically trying to make a weirdest YouTube video ever too. That
Yeah,
was
it
pretty
def-
much what that was supposed to be.
It definitely feels like you were like shit posting and just having fun and like some sort of like inside joke, Just like
Yeah, that was
shit like-
pretty much the time when I realized, you know what, I'm an adult. Like all that stuff with SammyClassicSonicFan happened so many years ago. Like I'm pretty sure people aren't going to care. I don't have to like try and like do damage control or anything and act like in a really professional way, because that's just not me, honestly.
I don't think
I'm just
anyone
not
has.
like
I
that.
don't think anyone has hatred for you. I think that you are an endearing meme in the Sonic community.
I think now that like we also like further understand, what those videos were for. Now it's like now I'm like seeing it as like not Sammy has like fully like grown. It's like it's like watching a kid grow up. It's like Sammy grew up with us, There's a part of Sammy in all of us. You know, it's like you go from like small little innocent, not knowing a whole lot about the world kid to like growing up to be like this like shit poster, and it's hilarious.
It's weird. It's weird because I started watching Sammy before I had a YouTube channel. Well before I even used YouTube regularly, I found Sammy. Like back when the only thing I had was my neighbor's Wi-Fi and a tablet. That's when I watched Sammy shit, and it's weird seeing how I came from there to actually talking to him. And now everyone's mature.
People have like no idea that I'm 21 now, like, cuz you know, the 14-year-old me is the version of me that people are most familiar with. So
and people thought you were like 8. People thought you were 8 back then because you have delayed puberty.
Yeah.
That's older than me. Holy shit.
You know, I still have people saying like, you know, they don't believe I'm like 21 now, but you know, people just like really had no idea. You know, it's been like so long since really.
It's super weird because back then, it was like you had like delayed puberty, so it's like because back then it's like, man, I can't believe Sammy's older than this. But nowadays it's like reverse, where it's like, I can't believe Sammy's 21 because we're still not used to you being older now. It's like time goes by fast now. It's like watching a kid grow up.
People actually used to think me and Sammy were related just because we have the same last name. And I'm like, no, we're not related. I never talked to Sammy.
Your last name isn't Thomas?
My last name is Thomas. That's why people thought we were related.
Oh,
no,
okay.
That's hilarious.
Wait, so Sammy's last name isn't Zenith? Wait, what?
I even said it was Harbor at one time.
Sammy, are you related to David Harbour from Stranger Things, bro? But my last name is fucking Spears, okay? Do you know how many fucking Britney Spears jokes I get like every other week?
I know how many more you will get.
Oh no.
I hate you, Dylan. If you make one Britney Spears joke, I will come down to your state. I will Google find you, and I will Google kill. I will Google.
You will end up
dressed in like a red latex suit,
you
like
will
Britney was in that one video.
You will end up just like Taylor. You will get lost, and you will be told to hell. You will go through 5 toll booths trying to find where I live because you don't know where the fuck in the country I live.
I got Google Maps.
She had Google Maps and got lost.
I'll use 2 Google Maps.
Okay, I feel like we're reaching the end of this. We're getting close to our hour point.
Okay.
Is there any final things you guys want to talk about? Any final questions? Any final statements you want to ask?
I mean, I think I'll make one observation because I've been quite quiet throughout this.
You have.
Look, I'm a quiet person. I don't know. I'm sorry. But like one thing I noticed, like years ago when like your videos were blowing up with like the yelling and screaming, I think back then people genuinely thought you were some angry child. Like, I definitely spoke to people who like talked to me like, "Wow, you seen this angry kid on YouTube? Wow, Sonic fans her," and I'm like, "I'm sorry," but like I definitely have noticed like from looking at like your recent stuff, like people like you. Like some of the comments, you have like a really chill fan base that like appreciate you, and it's kind of sweet. So I just thought I'd like acknowledge that, you know, like it must be nice to just have these nice people like, yo man, new video, yay, you know, it's just cute.
Yeah,
awesome.
Back when all that SammyClassicSonicFan stuff was even going on, like family and friends were really confused because, you know, they even thought of me as like a nice person, or you know, they knew I was, you know, sort of hyper and crazy at times, but you know, they knew I just like to joke around. So like when they saw all this, like when I started to develop like an online presence, you know, of being like some angry kid, they were, you know, definitely surprised. They're like, what is going on? Like, is he losing? Is he like actually losing his mind or something? You know, so But yeah, anyways, I think definitely like, the trolling has pretty much gone away because there's really like, nothing, there's really nothing to like provoke that, or it's nowadays I'm just not trying to like be a character or anything. I'm just like pretty much
This is evolved Sammy.
yeah, just being how I usually am like most of the time. So
Okay, what's your final thoughts, Dumbsville? What's any last things you want to say?
I think we knocked a lot of things out of the park with this one. I think it's weird because like the history of Sammy and just like what you were back then, it's like it's really like there's a lot of mystery to me behind it. Like, were you genuine? Were you not? What was this supposed to mean? What was this? But like now that I'm hearing it from the guy himself, now a lot of that can be put to rest. Now that I'm talking to you and reading that, and there's like a lot of like stuff that I feel like has been just answered, just talking to you.
yeah, I think I can answer that a lot more honestly than I could like 5 years ago. When I was still sort of like processing everything. I didn't want like my reputation to be damaged forever. But like I've gotten jobs since all that happened, and like my coworkers and employers eventually did like figure out who I am, but if anything, they just thought it was cool. They didn't think like, oh, I don't think you should be here anymore or something.
Well,
like
unlike Christian, you're not still acting like that. You're a normal person now. You're not running around going,
right,
you
because they realize the difference is I was a kid back then, and so like you can't really,
You're not macing GameStop employees. You're acting like a normal member of society.
Right.
You know what? Funny we bring up like work situations. I worked over at a Chick-fil-A over the summer. And I saw my high school friend Finn there. Finn's a really chill guy. I love him to death. But I was like talking to him while we were working. He actually brought you up and started like talking about how he loved your videos, thought you were hilarious, and started reciting Sonic 06. Sonic 06.
Wait, will you learn?
It was so funny.
Okay, I guess my final question would be, looking back on everything, do you regret it, and how do you feel about your legacy on the internet now?
I definitely don't regret it at all. I think the whole YouTube experience, definitely like improved even my personal life in many ways. It actually like helps me develop a closer relationship with like my parents and my friends. It helps me understand how to like socialize better. How to like present myself and stuff like that. And I don't really know who I would be today if any of that didn't happen. So I honestly don't regret any of that at all. So
that's a good way to look at it.
I'm glad you have this outlook.
I really like that because I remember like when I go through my personal shit, the shit that I've like gone through and some of the things that have really wrecked me, and then I look back on it and look back at it less as like a thing that haunts me and more like something that strengthens me and makes me who I am. I feel like that's a good way to look at it, because if you look at a past thing and look at it as something that damaged you instead of strengthening you, you aren't going to be strengthened by it at all.
If you're less stupid today than you were yesterday, you're succeeding. That's how I see it. If you're less stupid now, then you're fine. Everyone's gonna be dumb. If you're still on the internet, you're dumb. But as long as you're not being as stupid as you used to be, that's fine. I'm not as stupid as I used to be, and I want to believe everyone can change except for Chris Chan. That's my philosophy in life.
Yeah, I think it's good to have an optimistic view on it, and not only that, but it's opened up a lot of like opportunities, even in the present day. So, um,
Well, I'm glad that
I
unlike other lolcows, you've actually moved on. It shows that there can be a silver lining to this. There can be an end of the road. There can be a good ending when it comes to lolcows, because everyone wants to assume that you're doomed. You're gonna end up like Dark Side Phil or something. But if you just change your attitude and outlook on life, you can turn it around.
I think he's already turned it around. I think that Sammy's already there.
I'm saying that others can. That's what I'm trying to say. Others can turn it around. It's never too late. Just change your outlook, improve yourself.
Yeah, precisely. And even if I was a kid back then, like, it doesn't matter what point you are at in life. You can change a whole lot. It doesn't matter like how old you are or anything.
Yeah. So I think we've had a learning experience today. I've asked all the questions I ever wanted to ask. I think I asked the questions other people wanted.
And anyways, thank you for having me on. It's been a great time.
If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. And if you want to see more, and subscribe. And if any of you other people out there who are known in the Sonic community want to come on and talk, we're always willing to have a special episode dedicated to you too. Bye, guys.
Yes. Goodbye, everyone.